Twitch is growing despite some negative press at the moment, but Twitch is growing and you want to become a part of that. Now I've got 4 major tips that are really going to help you gain viewership, gain affiliate, and continue to grow. I also have a bunch of quickfire small tips that are going to be at the end of the video, so make sure you hang around for those too. Let's get into it. Okay, before we get started, yes, it's important to go on other platforms, not to put all your eggs in one basket. Try to do stuff on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, anything, and then try to get those viewership over onto Twitch. But I counted, and there were 45 billion people that have already said that, so I'm not going to touch on that too much. But I do have some real advice that might really be helpful for you. Stuff that I've used in the past or I've seen other people use to help get affiliate really quickly and then move on and continue to grow their viewership after that. Okay, first let's talk about affiliate. Now, if you're already affiliate, this might not be useful for you, but I do have timestamps down in the bottom, so make sure you check that out and you can skip this part if you need. So for affiliate, what you have to do is you have to stream for 7 days, you have to maintain an average viewership of 3 viewers, and you have to have at least 50 followers on Twitch. Once you get affiliate, you can really start monetizing your channel because people can subscribe to you, they can donate bits to you, you can get ad revenue, but there's also a few things you can do as well that you get granted once you become affiliate. Things like being able to use channel points, sub emotes, you can get badges with your names, you can do predictions, you can do polls, all those things that increase viewership and increase interactivity with your viewers. Getting to 50 followers and 3 average viewers doesn't seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it can be quite tricky right at the very start when you haven't got anyone there. But let's have a look at some tips that are really going to help you out. Okay, now tip number 1 is to choose a good game. What I mean by that is to be wary of all the games that are oversaturated on Twitch, and there's a lot of them. Things like League of Legends, Valorant, Dota, anything like that is really oversaturated because there's so many people playing it, and people have to scroll down a long way to find you on 012 viewers. Now, there's a few games out there that have a very high follower count for the actual game, but not that many people are streaming at the moment, which makes it easier to follow. Now, some of these games can include Pokemon, which I do, Stardew Valley, and Animal Crossing, just to name a few, but there's plenty out there. Now, if you have a look at some of these channels on Twitch, you'll see that you don't have to scroll all that far to get down to the bottom, or if you just have a handful of viewers, all of a sudden you're only a few rows down and it's a bit easier to find you. Now, these are the sort of games that are really good because they have a very loyal following. I'll use Pokemon as an example because that's what I play. People are nostalgic as hell for Pokemon. It's the reason why Pokemon Go blew up when it first came out. People love it, it's been their childhood, and they always want to get involved in something Pokemon related. When Pokemon Go first came out, my age bracket got their balls tickled more than any man or woman ever could. But if you look at the Pokemon category or the Pokemon Go category, there's lots of people following that game, but there's not all that many people currently watching it, so it's a bit easier to sort of get into that niche. So to sum it up, don't start playing Valorant with 0 to 1 viewers and expect to get found because people are going to have to go down and down and down a long way before they can find you. Find a game that you don't have to scroll too far down to be able to get a little bit of a viewership. Tip number 2 is to get involved in the community. I made it my personal mission to get involved with the community when I started streaming. I spent more time watching other Pokemon streamers rather than working on my own content because I wanted to get involved in the community. That means I can start hanging out, I become recognizable in a few different people's channels, and then when I finish streaming myself, what I can do is I can then raid that person and say, oh, Metal, you're actually a streamer. Okay, I'll have to come check you out. Then they start raiding you back too. Now, there's 2 things I want to mention about the raids. One is that it's not all about the raids. The reason I think it's important to get involved in the community is because then you feel like you're a part of something. You're starting to make friends. You're becoming involved. It's not just, I'm going to stream, play games, get off, never again going to see those sorts of people again. You see the people that come to your chat and see them in theirs as well, and you become involved, and it actually makes you feel good. You want to become part of this community. You might not see them for a couple of days or you go away on holiday or something like that, and you start to miss those people and those relationships. It actually makes streaming worth it. It's not just about the money. It's not just about playing games. It's being a part of something, and I think that's really important. All right. Thank you so much for coming in, and I'll see you next time, guys. Let's send some love to Steven, also in Team Chicken Nuggies. Let's just slap all your amazing people onto him. I really appreciate you all. Good night kisses for you homies out there. Let's smack the 79 beautiful people. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good night. Now, secondly, a lot of people say that raids aren't all that important, and they are correct. I've been raided by many hundreds of people before, but then you'll stream the next day to the same amount of people or the same people that you usually do. But all of a sudden, you're on the periphery of those people. Sometimes the main person that they go to might not be online, then they might come to you. But what's most important, and what I almost rather, is getting raided by a smaller friend rather than a big streamer who you don't really know. If you get raided by a small friend, you already know those people. Those people have seen you in that person's channel, and now they're seeing your channel, and then they're more likely to come and hang out a little bit more. But being able to raid and receive raids is one, very, very fun. I love raiding and receiving raids, but also it does help you to grow your channel and also to become part of that community. Although big raids might not increase you in the long run, for that one stream, you're gonna have an awesome stream. You're going to be pumped up, you're going to be excited. All of a sudden you have a lot more viewers than you normally do, so you're higher up on the list, which means you're going to be more accessible to new people. I've seen people that have become very involved in people's chats before they even started streaming. They start streaming pretty much instantly. They have 100 viewers, they're averaging 20 viewers. They got affiliate pretty much instantly, and they're having a great time and they're growing. But that's because they spent so much time growing in the community before they started growing their stream. So becoming friends with people and being involved in the community is really, really important. If you want to become part of the community, join me at twitch.tv/MetalFear4, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't before and give it a like. Tip number 3, especially for new affiliates, is please talk. Please don't sit there and be silent. I've done some experiments and I've gone into people that have 0 or 1 viewers, and they're sitting there playing the games. They look like they're really bored. Nothing is going on. Then someone else might come in, or I might come in and say, hi, how you going? What are you doing? And start asking questions. And all of a sudden they perk up and they start getting really excited. But do you know how many people have probably come in, seen that they look bored, and then leave instantly? It happens all the time. So you need to make sure that you're talking all the time. You're talking, almost like you're pretending there's 10, 20, 30 people in your chat. If you're doing that, then people are going to be more excited to come and watch you, and they're going to be interested in actually what you're doing, rather than see someone sitting there and looking like they're bored. Now, it can be really hard to stream to 0 viewers and to keep up the chat, but I've got a few tips that are going to help you. Number 1 is to tell stories and repeat those stories over and over again. Have a bit of a bank of stories or interesting moments in your life that you can talk about, and then you can repeat them every couple of days or every week or so. I talk about this in my previous video, which is how to stand out on Twitch. And if you see what I did there, I repeated my own tip from a previous video. This is what you should be doing with your stories within your Twitch streams. If you're telling an interesting personal story, all of a sudden you're forming a connection between your chat and yourself. Now, you can repeat this story on a little bit later on, because even though it might seem a bit silly telling the same story over and over again, you've probably got new viewers coming in, and that's going to be a brand new story for them. And again, you're going to be building those connections. Even if you have people that are going to be hearing those stories again, they probably won't care. They won't mind hearing your stories because they've come to your stream a couple of times now. They're interested in what you are doing and what stories you have to tell. I go into this in more detail in my Standing Out on Twitch video, which I'm going to link in the description below. So make sure you check that out. Okay, secondly, I guess this is tip like 3.2, but this one's about talking, is plan out what you want to say. On sticky notes or in a bit of a journal, I always write down talking points that I can talk about in my stream. So if I'm doing a Pokemon stream, I could say, okay, latest Pokemon Go update came out, this update came out and I want to talk about this particular part. Okay, when I was at work, this happened. When I was going to the gym, this happened. Just a few things that I can write down. Sometimes I don't even get to them because other things will happen in the stream that I end up talking about and there's no time for it. But sometimes there's some blank space going on and you want to fill in that chat. Okay, there's my notes. This is what I want to talk about. Here's something that can sort of spark a conversation about something else. It allows you to be organized and make sure that you're filling in that dead air. I remember streaming to 0 or 1 viewers at a time and looking down at my notes and saying, okay, these are the things that I want to say. There's still no one chatting, but half an hour later, I can go over those things again. It's important because even though there's 0 people, you're continually talking over and over again. It doesn't matter if you repeat yourself. Also, something to keep in mind, if you're someone that watches your viewer count and you can see that it's on 0, that doesn't mean there's 0 people there. That can take a little while to update. So you got to imagine there's more people there so you're continuing to talk, because all of a sudden someone's going to talk back and that's going to get you excited to talk about this conversation that you've now brought up. The more you're chatting, the more you're interacting with these people that are coming in, more people are going to come and they're going to stay. Another great talking point that I see all the time is food. Everyone loves to talk about food. Talk about what you had for breakfast, what you had for dinner, some amazing dessert that you saw. You went shopping, you saw this thing and you've bought it and you can't wait to eat it. People always talk about food, always love it. There's endless things you can talk about. So if you're sort of stuck on what to discuss, you're really running low, think about, okay, what's a food topic that I could talk about? Okay, no more sub tips. We're going back to the overall topic of the video. Tip number 4. So you've got affiliate. Now what do? You've started to get some subs, some bits. You're starting to get a bit of money. What can you do now? My best advice, and something that I did for a very, very long time, is to invest every single dollar that you get from stream back into the stream. You want to give your viewers something for what they've paid for. Now, there's two types of things that you can do with the money that goes towards your stream. One is that you can increase viewer experience, and one is that you can increase your experience. Now, to increase viewer experience is 10 times more important. So things like that could be the layout in your stream, your camera, your microphone, things like that. Things that don't really increase their experience that might increase yours are things like a stream deck. People love stream decks. They think, oh, that makes me a pro streamer because I have a stream deck now, and I have one too, and I love it. But that just makes it a lot easier for me to stream. It does a bit because I can do some fancy or funny things with my stream deck that make it more engaging for chat, but there's a lot of other things that are much more important. The first thing I would do is to invest in a microphone. Now, you don't need a microphone like this. Anything can do as long as it sounds good. That's something you want to upgrade because the audio in your stream is the #1 most important thing, 10 times more than even the camera itself. A lot of people lurk in chat. A lot of people have their quality set really, really low where the webcam, it doesn't even matter, but the audio is always going to be important. If you're screaming into a headset microphone, then instantly people are going to leave. So if you're using like a headset microphone, okay, that's something you might want to upgrade. I've seen a lot of people on Twitch that have an okay microphone, but they don't really know what to do with it. It can sound pretty crappy. If you want to hear a video about things and filters you can do to help improve the sound of your microphone, let me know in the comments below. But all in all, don't start blowing the money that you're earning on Twitch. Put it back into the user experience because that's going to help you to grow and you're going to snowball. Okay, let's get into some quickfire tips to finish off. #1, don't use follower or sub only mode. It's not going to increase the chance of someone following you. Also, a lot of people try to raid others, but they have follow only mode and they stop, including me. I've gone to send 50 people to someone with 2 viewers. I see they have follow only mode. Nah, I'm going to choose somebody else. That's just not the play. Don't do it. When placing your webcam on your layout, do it on either the top right or the bottom right corner of your screen. If you put it on the top left or the bottom left, the viewer count and the live button are there, so your thumbnail could get covered. Watch your VODs. Go back and see to make sure everything's running smoothly. Do you sound okay? Is the music too loud or too soft? Are there quiet points in your stream that you can try to improve on? Go back and watch them. I also talk about this in my How to Stand Out video, so I'll put that again in the description below. When you get affiliate, you can start getting hype trains. If you do happen to get a hype train, make sure you put your best foot forward because you can get discovered on Twitch when you've got a hype train. You're actually on the front page. Now, I did a bit of an experiment the other day, last time I got a hype train, and I got more followers within that hype train than I did in the half an hour before the hype train because you're more discoverable. But also, this is a really exciting time. You're really excited, lots of stuff is going on, everyone's really hyped up. This is a great time to get new viewers in. Use channel points to your advantage. I made a video about this, which I'll also put in the description below, but use it to your advantage because it gets chat interacting with you as a streamer. There's lots of fun things that can happen. It can be really interesting. So use channel points. It's a shame if you don't. Okay, next is to ban dickheads in your stream. When I first started, this was a bit of a struggle for me as well. You've got 3 or 4 viewers, but one of them's being a dickhead. You don't really want to ban them because, you know, that's really important to have that number in your stream. But the thing is you have to get rid of them. All they're going to do is to bring down the vibe of the chat, bring down the vibe of you because you're now dealing with this person instead of focusing on the other people in your chat or focusing on your game. Give them the bop, get them out of here, the chat will return back to normal and everyone else will appreciate it. You don't want to lose genuine viewers or reduce the chance of other people coming in and having a good time because this one person's being a dickhead. Let people lurk. Some people just like to lurk. They don't want to chat or they're on their phone and it's a bit harder to chat or they're people watching on a TV or something like that. Let them lurk. If you're calling them out, they might be a little bit uncomfortable. Now, something that I do, I don't even know if it makes a big difference, but something that I start to do is if someone's followed me and I've seen that they haven't said anything in the chat, instead of asking them a question, instead of asking, how are you going, what are you doing, I'll leave it a bit more close-ended. Things like, I hope you're having a good day today. So doing that means it's not necessarily inviting them to talk because they might not want to. Sometimes I'll just say, hi, how you going, which is fine. And if they want to respond, they will. If I say, I hope you're having a good day, and they reply back and say, hi, how you going, then you can start having a conversation with them. But you don't want to make them uncomfortable because, believe it or not, lurkers are the backbone of Twitch communities because they're giving you the views and the numbers bringing you up. And there's a lot of people that are going to be lurking in your stream, a lot more than even just the people that are chatting. The worst thing you can do is to call out a lurker. Don't look through your chat and say, oh, I can see there's a new username there. ABC, how are you going? What's going on? Why aren't you chatting? That is the worst thing you can do. Do not do this. Now, the best tip I can give you is to subscribe here on YouTube and to watch all my videos about growing on Twitch. There's plenty more to come, and if you're liking it, make sure you let me know so I can give you lots of tips to help you grow. Also, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Come check me out at twitch.tv/metalfree4, where I'm always happy to talk about these sorts of things. Come in, ask your questions, we can chat about it. See you in the next one, guys.